The last one is dryland ecosystem. Dryland ecosystem, in the last two types we have seen wetland ecosystem, gardenland ecosystem, and the last one is dryland ecosystem. In this also 7 models are there. The first one is crop plus goat, that means raising of crop and along with that rearing of goat. So before we discuss about all these components, first we have to see what kind of crops can we raise in dryland ecosystem. In dryland ecosystem, we know that completely depends on rainfall, and only in one season most of the farmers go for raising the crop. In followed by, because of lack of water, they cannot raise any crop in the field. So we have to choose the crop accordingly. For example, like cotton we can grow well in dryland, and also maize, sorghum, the like C4 plants, and also some of the pulse crops also we can go for in dryland agriculture. So along with that we can go for goat. So here the important blank is in dryland agriculture, whatever the crops we are growing, along with that we are raising goat, the rearing goat. The good goat variety is Tellicherry. This is the species that we raise. Tellicherry breeding, the Tellicherry breed we raise are rare in dryland type of ecosystem. So this is one of the important blank. Tellicherry type of breed is especially used in dryland ecosystem. So when after we finish the crop, then followed by in the barren land we can leave the goat into that particular field and we can rear the goat. And we should remember that every 4 to 5 goats, female goat should have one male goat. Minimum I'm telling, up to 40 goats also we can maintain one, they say, but minimum 4 to 5 goats should have one male. 4:1, 4 female and 1 male, so that we can easily multiply the goat. And one ram if you sell away into the market, you may get up to 600 rupees. Up to 600 rupees. So every month if you get one, every month you will be getting 600 rupees from the goat. And not only that, the big goat if you sell, the matured one, then you will be getting in thousands. And not only that, if you buy crop also you will be getting some amount. Because of dryland ecosystem, the income we cannot expect like in wetland ecosystem or gardenland ecosystem, but involving different types of components, we can get some extent of income by only adapting crop. We will be getting only minimum income, but having different components we will be getting multiple income. Then crop followed by goat followed by agroforestry. So what is the meaning of agroforestry? The meaning of agroforestry is raising of agriculture crops along with the tree species, forestry tree species. So we are raising crop and we are using some extent of land area to raise agriculture crops along with the forestries, and in that we are raising rearing goat also. So how this forestry will help the other components means, the forest, some of the tree species are there which can be fed to the goat. So when we raise forestries, after they well matured, we can cut the branches and we can feed to the goat. How goat helps the other component even here also? By feeding in the field, the droppings or the excretion of the goat can become manure to the crop, and indirectly crop will be benefited directly. And in agroforestry also, we are raising tree species in one row, and in between agriculture crops in 3 or 4 rows, again 1 row of trees, and again 3 rows of agricultural crops. So by doing all this, we can give some shade effect to the agriculture crops. So we have to choose the crops which will come well under the shade. Why we need to provide shade effect means, we are raising the crop under dryland ecosystem where rains are very minimum. So when we give some shade effect to the crop, agriculture crop, what will happen? We can avoid evaporation, we can avoid transpiration. Not only that, even we can give some root support to the soil, so that when rainfall comes, we don't find any soil erosion or runoff. So for that reason, we grow agricultural crops as well as trees together. This is the advantage of agroforestry. Then next one is crop, goat, agroforestry. These all three we have seen, followed by horticulture. Horticulture means here also we know that mostly we go for trees. Here forest trees we are going for, the trees which comes in the forest, but here we are rearing horticulture related crops, that means orchard crops we call. The other term is orchard crop, ORCHAD. Orchard crop means what are the crops will come, like sapota, guava, even other crops like mango. So the crops which are resembles like trees, the perennial crops, horticulture crops that we can raise in the field, and they also will be benefited to the farmer. So not only that, by removing agroforestry we can only insert the horticulture, that means orchard crops, and we can raise, so that from the both the things we will be getting income. Then the next one is crop, goat, agroforestry, horticulture, along with that farm pond. Farm pond. In farm pond, why we are going for farm pond? It's not for fishery purpose, but to provide water to the crop, because we are raising in dryland ecosystem. During the rainy season we have to store the water in the farm pond, and whenever there is no water, or whenever the gap comes in between the rains, first rain may come, again the on time rains may not come, at that particular time we can utilize this water to the field. This is another advantage out of farm pond. In the same farm pond you can raise the fishes, but we cannot assure that in farm pond all the time water will be. During the cropping season, during the rainy season alone, we can maintain water in the farm pond. Once rainy season got over, we cannot assure that in the rabi season or in the summer season water will be in the farm pond. Accordingly, how to go for whether we have to rear fingerlings, fishes or not. Then the next one is crop, goat, buffalo, agroforestry, farm pond. So here, instead of keeping horticultural, we are inserting buffalo along with goat. So here two components are there, animals are there, goat and buffalo, and followed by forestry, farm pond. Why we are inserting buffalo instead of cow? Buffalo can come in tropical region also, dryland region also, they can sustain very well. And for buffalo, what is required, actually food is nothing but some fodder crop. So whatever the crop we are raising, along with that we have to separate some land area for the fodder purpose here. So always remember, whenever livestock component comes in the farming system, any farming system, maybe dry land, wetland or garden land, when livestock comes, always remember we have to separate some land area for fodder purpose. So here also we have to separate some land area for the fodder purpose. So that fodder will be supplied to the buffalo, and this manure, cow dung and goat droppings, both in two ways crop will be benefited for the manure cost. Then agroforestry I said already. So when we go for agroforestry, in between we can graze the crops and all we can do. Then farm pond, just now explained, in the time of no water we can use the water from the farm pond to irrigate the crop. Then the next one is crop plus goat plus pigeon. So instead of rearing buffalo, going for buffalo, we are going for pigeon bird. And also buffalo also we are adding, and agroforestry we are adding, so we didn't remove buffalo here. The next one is farm pond. So here what we are doing is we are adding one component extra. So by having all this extra component is pigeon. Why pigeon we are adding here means, pigeon depends, especially they love to eat what you call red gram they eat, and other food grains also they eat. So when we go for pigeon, whatever the crop we are raising on that crop also they can feed on, and goat and buffalo is their agroforestry. Likewise we are having different in farm pond also the insects which are present, and also in agroforestry trees will be there where also pigeons can stay in the forest itself, or else we can go for how in livestock we went for the houses in the wetland system, how we raise the house for the poultry. Same manner you can raise the houses in the garden land system also separately, not in the field, separately houses you can construct, and you can raise the pigeon in that. And the remaining components, how they depend one another, already explained. And the last one is crop, goat plus rabbit. By removing all these components, only crop, goat and rabbit. Rabbit also can come in high temperature, but rabbit we cannot leave in the field, in the open place, how we leave goat and buffalo. but we have to keep them in cage, in well constructed houses. We have to keep them in cages. The crop output we can feed to the rabbit. And what especially rabbit feed on means, they feed on cabbage, cauliflower, and even other vegetables also they will feed on, like carrot and all. So accordingly we have to raise the crop, and some land area we have to raise the crop for the farmer food purpose, some land area for the goat, and some land area for the rabbit food. So in these are the ways how they depend one another. But when we look at the goat, let us see the competition of the disadvantages. For the goat, permanent shed is needed. For agroforestry also, initial expenditure is needed to plant the tree species. In horticulture also you have to plant the tree species, maybe sapota, guava, or mango, or orange, or pomegranate, whatever it may be the crop. For initial you have to spend some money. Even farm pond also, to dig out the farm pond you have to spend some money to raise the farm pond. Then next one is buffalo. To buy buffalo or goat, whatever it may be, to buy we need some money to buy them. So even pigeon also, though the cost may be less, but still we have to spend some money on pigeon. Then the next one is rabbit also we can buy, but rabbit easily can be multiplied, and each rabbit will give 4 to 5 bunnies at a time, and they'll grow very fast. So these are the ways how they involve one another and how they depend on another. Rabbit excretion also can be given into the crop, and goat excretion also can be given into the crop as a manure. But always remember, whenever we are raising the crop means not only one crop, we have to go for 2 to 3 crops in a season, especially in Kharif season, because it is a dry land ecosystem. In the rainy season alone we can raise. Based on the land area availability, we have to choose any one type of ecosystem. The land area is very less means we better go for only 2 components. If land area is well and good, then go for 3 or 4, 5. Based on the land area, the component will be varied. And here crops means here farmer should able to get his food, and also farmer should able to give feed to the cattle, and also to the goat, and also to the rabbit. And for the agroforestry system also he has to leave some amount of land area for that cause. So land area plays major role to go for particular ecosystem. This is all about the dry land ecosystem. So these are the enterprises which are in different ecosystem and their interaction one another. So we have discussed wetland ecosystem, garden land ecosystem, and dry land ecosystem. But though I have said different components, how they are interacting one another and how they are competing with one another, and which one has to be given much importance. So which one to give means, first we have to give importance to the crop, followed by the next. So here whatever the component we are writing, first you give importance to the first component, followed by the next component, followed by third component, followed by fourth component. Likewise we have to give importance. We should not choose first to fifth component and then go for first component. We can't do that, but do choose the first component followed by the second component. Likewise we have to choose for all the 3 ecosystems whatever I have written on the board. For every ecosystem you have to follow the order. You cannot choose whatever the component you want, and also you cannot choose the component from the 8th component or 7th component to the first component. All will mix and I'll bring up another component, that we cannot work out. But in every component, first component should be, in every system, first component should be, crop should be common for all the farming systems, maybe dry land or wetland or garden land. In every ecosystem, crop is common, but other components will be varied based on the availability and also based on the resources which are available in the farm. But ultimately, why are we doing all these? If you ask me the question, to get effective income to the farmer, that is our ultimate objective, and also to provide the money throughout the year, and to give the sufficient food to the farmer, and to get surplus income from the farm, and also to provide employment to the labor. So likewise we are having so many advantages by depending on this, and farmer will be busy throughout the year by having different components in the field. These are the some advantages out of all 3 ecosystems. So this is all about the 11th lecture, allied enterprises for different ecosystems and their interaction. Thank you.